So welcome to my channel Drafting with IBK. Yes, at this channel we're looking at different type of drafting. Look at suit drafting, waistcoat drafting, shirt drafting, anything, just name it, anything male drafting, we'll be looking at it. But first we'll be starting with trouser drafting, and here is a picture of how your final result should look like. You can see how it's looking very sweet and beautiful. You can see no wrinkles, everything looking smart and good. So quickly let's go into the video. Okay, so the trouser we'll be drafting is what's it called, waist. Let me just give you the measurements. You have waist 39, thigh 30, knee 20, ankle 14, then you have the hip 45, and trouser length 38. So the curve, yeah, I mean the curve also. The curve is 17. Curve 17. First thing we'll be doing is trying to draw our what's it called, our vertical lines, our straight lines, more of like a margin to guide us. So you start with the front, the upper straight line. So once you roll this first margin, you would start with your what's it called, your length measurement first, which is our length is 38. So you come here, you take your 38, then you add 2 inches to it, which is our folding allowance for the leg. So you come to this upper region also, so you can have a straight line. So you do the same thing, 38 plus 2 inch, that's 40. So you connect it. Before we do connection of everything, let me just rule everything out once and for all. So now the next line I'm going to be reading is our what's it called? Our crotch line, or the tie line, whichever you call it. So normal pattern for getting your crotch is your hip divided by 4. The hip we are working with is hip 48. 48, that's 48 divided by 4, which will give us 12. But I don't use that pattern. I do minus 1 from whatever I get. So if hip is 12, I'll do minus 1, which will be 11. So it will be 2 down, so it will at least smart a little bit. So I'm doing minus 1 for this. But the regular one is what's actual, whatever division you get, you apply it straight. So that's our crotch depth, or the new tie line. So the next thing we are looking for is our new line, which is your total length divided by 2. So our total length is 30 divided by 2, that's 20. 24. 24 will give us times 2, will give us what? 4. Our total length is 38. 38 divided by 2, that's what's it called? That's 18, 19, yeah, 19. 19 will give us 30, 19 times 2, that's 38. So you come here and have your 38 also. So now the next thing for me to do is to join all these lines together to make a straight line. So this is it. So this is our new line I'm joining together. Then I come to the ankle line. I'm joining together the ankle line, the 2 inches allowance. I'm joining together. So the next thing again we are doing, what's it called? Our hip line. Yeah, our hip line. Now from this your crotch line, you just go inch up by 2 inches to get your hip line. So from here you go 2 inches, you come here 2 inches up. So this line, if I join together, will be our hip line. So this is our hip line. I'm joining together. This is our hip line. So the next thing again I want to do is I need a side margin to help me, to guide me to take our measurements. As the waist measurement, I need a starting point to start taking those measurements. So just where I did for me to take the length measurement, I have a margin that guide me to have a accurate measurement. So the same thing I'll be doing to the side. So in this case, I'm going to actually make a straight line. But in this case that I have this edge of what's it called fabric, I'll be using this very edge as my own vertical line, my straight line to guide me. So I'll be using this tip. That's why I'll be taking my. So instead of taking another measurement, I'll be just using this very tip as my margin line to start taking my measurements. Now let's continue. So the next thing we are going to take now, the next measurement we want to take now is the thigh measurement. The thigh, don't forget this is our thigh line, this very line. First waistline, hip line, thigh line, knee line, and this is the ankle line. So this is our thigh line. That's what I'm doing first. Our thigh is what 30 from our measurement. Our thigh is 30 divided by 2. That's 15. So you come here, see my 15. Now my 15 is on this margin. I call this line my margin line, right? So this is 15. So which is 30 divided times 2. So this 13. So I'll come here, my hip line. Our hip, don't forget our hip is what? 48 divided by 4. Your hip, don't forget to divide your thigh by 2. Your hip is a round measurement which you divide by 4 because you are doing a 4 pieces trouser. So you do your hip divided by 4, which is 12. So now I'm doing the actual hip, right? 12 plus 0.5, that's 12.5. So that's my hip. Now the next thing I'm doing now is my nail divided by 2. Now before I can take my nail, I need something to guide me so everything would be on a center measurement. So my shoulder is not going sideways or left or right. So now this is what I will do. I'll come to my thigh. I will divide my thigh, this 15 by 2, which will give me what? 15 by 2, that's 7.5. So if you look at it here, at here we have 7.5, at this point I have 7.5. So what I'll be doing now is, this is my middle. So I'm using this to get the middle for the other places. So now I'm having, what's it called, 7.5. I'll take it here at the new region. Then I will come to this side ankle region. I'll do 7.5 as well. So now my new measurement is what? My new measurement is 20. So what I will now do is 20 divided by 2, which is what? 10. So now I will insert my 10 into this middle. So if you look at my 10 now, 10 divided by 2, that's 5. This is 5, right? So I'll make sure my tape rule at this point is tallying with this point, which is my 5 is on this. So I'll mark it here and mark it at this, what's it called? 10 region. If you look at it, automatically, I actually shared the 10 into 2 and put it at the middle so it can tally to the middle of the thigh. Now, same thing I did here, I'm going to do here also. My ankle is what? My ankle is 14. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. So I'll make sure my 7 falls in between this. So 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So this 3.5. I'll mark it here. I'll mark it here. This 7. Now we took it out for me, but because of this class, I took the curve measurements. So another way to get your curve measurement is to divide from your what's it called, your thigh. Divide your thigh, whatever you get from your thigh to your knee, then to your ankle. Divide it by 2. Let's see how that works. So you get from that point, divide it by 2. Divide by 2. You get your curve line. So now our curve is actually 27. 27 divided by 2 gave me 13.5. 27 divided by 2, 13.5. Yes, I'm very correct. 13.5. So I'll just come here 13.5. And here also 13.5. So I'll do the same thing just where I did for all these other margin line. I will bring them together, connect them together on a straight line. Yeah, don't forget, for me, I did what's it called, my thigh divided by 2 to get my straight lines. So I'm doing that same thing here now, which is 7. Don't forget, I got 7.5. So this is 7.5. Okay, because of the class, let me just connect all these things together so that you can have a clearer view of it. Okay, so here we are. So let's continue. Now, our what's it called, curve? I said our curve is what? 17. So 17 divided by 2 would give us what's it called? 8.5. 8.5 divided by 2 will give us 4.2. So this is 4.2, 8.5. So this is how we get our detailed measurement out. Mind we've not gotten what's it called, the waist measurement. Now for the waist, now what you just do is come out from this margin line by 0.5 to shape this. Now this is where our French curve or hip curve comes in. Now there are different ways to use this hip curve. Now you have to master, understand the way to use it. If you use this, it has a thicker part and a tinier part. So most people use this thicker, what's it called, parts to bring out the shape. But sometimes when the curve is too much, you can blend it by raising up this just to do little correction, not to make it too curvy out. But if you look at this by measurement now, it works very, very, very perfect for this. So I'll be using my hip curve to do this. So now let's start with this. I'm using the tinier part. So here it is. I'll connect this 0.5 to this hip line. Then it comes down to my thigh. It comes down to my thigh. So that's my first connection. So you won't be having too much shape. So the next thing you want to do now is to use this, connect this to this. But before then, let me start from the down part. I'm connecting this to this. I connect this to this. Then I bring it this way. This way. So mind when you're using all these curves, you have what we call this, there are these things we call sharp edge. Look at the point where this part and this line meets now. There's a sharp edge here, so you need to clean it up a little bit. So you just bring your curve ruler, French curve, to clean up that sharp edge this way. So if you look at it now, it has cleaned up. So there's not a straight connection between them. So mind the same thing here also, you clean this point, this meeting point up also. So you have a straight connection, like there's no any sharp angle like this. I mean sharp edge, I mean all this type of connection. So it's not there. So that's our side shape. Now we want to connect the other side, the same side shape. So now we'll do the same thing, we'll connect from here to here. Okay. Now we connect this point to this point. So the next thing we want to do now is to connect our tie to this new. Now we have, if you look at it, that is now coming out, it's bringing out the person's measurement, this person's shape, sorry, I mean. So the next one we want to do now is the waist measurement. Our waist is what? 39. 39 divided by 4 is 9.7. So let's come now, 9.7, see 9.7 here. This is 9.7 plus 0.7 for seam allowance at the two sides, 0.7, 0.7 for 1 inch, whichever one, depending. You can actually do 1 inch because of weaving when you're weaving, so it won't chop everything off and be at the safer side. So you connect this point to this point together, doing this. So you connect that point to this point together, then you come in with your hand and do the curve. That's your crotch curve. Better see if your hand is not straight, you can use your, what's it called? There is this ruler we used to use that's the armhole curve. Can just bring it in from this point to this point, and yeah, that's it. So the next thing we want to do now to complete this section of the front panel pattern of the trouser is now the upper, the waist shape. Sometimes you see many people trousers are folding inside at the front. So now what we do here is just to come down by 0.5 at this region. You come down 0.5, then you use your hip curve. This is the thicker part, this is the tinier part. You bring your tiny, make sure your tinier part is at the front and the thicker part is up. So you bring it this way into it like this. Then you get this. So now these are final, what's it called? Final sketching or drafting of the front panel. But before then, I would need to mark out our pockets. What's it called? Marking out. So you have 2 inches for the front pocket. Then the depth of the pocket, you have 7 inches. So you divide it there. These 2 inches, make sure you return it back when you're doing your sewing. So now we'll be cutting out our trouser out. So when we cut it out, we'll show you how to cut the back pattern.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we want to draft the back pattern. Now I turned the trouser, I've cut it out, you can see it, I've cut it out. So I turn it the other way around so as to fit in and welcome the front, and we'll be able to draft our back pattern. Now you need space at both sides of the trouser, at this pattern of trouser. So you need both space, not like the regular one that we just cut straight to the front and shift, and so you need more fabric. It takes more, it consumes more fabric. So you need more space for it. So now the next thing you do now is all these are matching and you roll them out back again because there will be guidance for us to cut the back. So now this is, you start from this one, roll it out this way. You come to the down part, you roll it out also. So you come to this side, you roll it out. This side also, you roll it out. So you come here to tie, you do the same thing. Now same thing goes to the waistline also, roll it out. So after doing that, the next thing you want to do is you start adding your sewing. We now have seam allowance here. So this is where you're putting the seam allowance. And this is how you go about it. At this crotch, what's it called? The thigh region at the front here. You go out, you come out by 1 inches, 1 inch, and at the back here of the thigh line, you go out by 2 inches. You come here, you add your 1 inch or 1.2. I'll prefer to add 1.2 because of my weaving machine. It has bleed, so it won't cut it off. Even when it's cut off, I'm still at the silver side. So I have 1.2, 1.2 at this region. Same thing here, so 1.2 at this region, 1.2 at this region, 1.2, then 1.2 at this region. So after doing that, I will come, sorry, And just put my ruler somewhere here so as to stop the brush. So after doing that, the next thing I'm doing now is again so the next thing I'm doing now is to come up here. I'm going to raise this trouser at this region, this point by 2.5, 2.5. I'll read it by 2.5. Then go inside from this point where I have here. I'll go inside by 2 inch. So this is my 2.5. Let me roll out my 2.5. My 2.5 is, this, we went in here by 0.5 when we were cutting the front. So here should be 2 inches. So here it is. So that's 2.5. So now let me roll it together. Let me connect it together. This is my 2.5. From here now is my 2.5. So the next thing I'm doing now is I would come here. If you look at when we're drafting the front one, we connect this line straight down. You can see a line, right? So we connect it straight down this way, right, to this each tie region. So you come here at this point of this line, you go in, not outward, you go inward by 0.5. 0.5 here. So now you raise the front pattern, you put your ruler underneath it and put your ruler at that point of 0.5. You raise your fabric, the what's it called, the front pattern, then you indicate your 0.5. This is my 0.5. That's my 0.5. So now I would connect this line again, this cross line to this one, so I can see it, it can reflect on the down pattern. So now if I raise this trouser up, I would connect this line to this point. I'm connecting this to this. So now we'll connect this point. We know we've taken our 0.5 in, so we connect it to this point. So that's that for that. So you return back your front pattern. Now in continuation, now you come to your waistline, you check out what you have in total. From here now, check it out. What you have, I have 11 here. So now I would do that 11 now. I'll bring that 11 to this region, to this top region. Now my back pattern is starting from here. So this is my 11. So I'm going to add 2 inches to the 11 for that allowance and what's it called? The other allowances I would need. So now this is it. 11 plus 2 inches, that's 13. So this is 13. So I'll mark it at this point. So that's 13. This is my 13 now. So again, let's come again. I have my 11, the waist at the front is 11 plus 2 inches for allowances at the back and what's it called, that allowance and crotch allowance and everything. So that's 13, and this is my 13 on the margin line I wrote first. So that's 13. So now what I want to do now is to connect those lines together. So I'll be using my hip curve or French curve, whichever one you call it. So I'm using this bent side. It has, this one is in, this one is out. So I'm using this one. So that's that. Now the next thing I'm doing now is to connect this region to this. Let me use this one. I don't want it to have funny shapes. Okay, so you now connect it together from this point to this point, and see my ruler is touching this point also, so I'll bring it down to this point. So that's that for this part. Now I'll do the same thing all through. So now this for this. So I'm connecting this to this, and I connect this to this. So you can see how sweet is looking at like. So same thing you do here. You connect this to this. Connect this to this. So that's that for that. And mind you, at this point for the front pattern, you are coming down by 0.2. Just small. You come down by 0.2 down. So it's now from here you'll be drawing your curve to this point. So we'll be using our ruler. So using our pattern ruler to connect them together. So So that's that for that. The next thing you want to do is to bring out your not your what's it called, our dart allowance, our dart what's it called points. So now our actual weight was 9.7, right? So 9.7, you come here, you remove 0.5, which is sim allowance, 0.5 sim allowance. Then 9.7 divided by 2, that will be 4 point, let me say 4.2, 4.3, 4.32, let me say 4.4, sharp, 4.4, which is around 9.7, that's 4.7, let me say 4.7, 4.6, 4.6. So this is where you rule your DAT allowance. Just look for the middle, then your DAT comes down by what, 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches, you roll a straight line to that point. The dart itself is shown by 0.5, which is 0.2 at this side, 0.2 at this side. So you connect them together this way. And that's your beautiful dart allowance. So, so that's that for this. Now we'll be cutting it out. Let me show you how I'm cutting it out so it will guide you when you want to cut your own also. So let me use my scissors. So let me start from here. Thank you for joining this drafting class. If you have any other question, maybe there's one or two things that you still need clarification on, let us know. Send in your questions and let's see how we can be of help. See you in our next drafting video and hope you enjoy drafting with IVK.